On a lonely stretch of Northern California road, a teenage couple sits parked under the stars. Suddenly, headlights appear behind them. A man steps out of his car, draws a gun, and fires. Their lives end in seconds, but into the darkness, he disappears, untraced. Then, days later, the same man writes to the newspaper, taunting the police with coded messages and claiming dozens more deaths. Who is he? What does he want? And how could someone be so terrifying? Remain free. It was the late 1960s. Northern California, the Bay Area, was a place of innocence and unrest. San Francisco's counterculture boomed. Sleek city lights mingled with redwoods, and young couples flocked to secluded lovers' lanes under a moonlit sky. Crime was rising, but nothing like this. Policing was still analog. No DNA databases, no advanced forensics, no digital fingerprint archives. Communication ran on payphones, typewritten letters, and newspapers passed hand to hand. In that world, someone began writing to the press, to the police, to inject terror into the very heart of America's Golden State. This was the playground of the Zodiac. The first confirmed victims were David Arthur Faraday, 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16. Both high school students on their first date. David was a wrestler, studious, and mild-mannered. Betty Lou was a bright, popular girl with plans for her future. Later came Darlene Farron, 22, a waitress and mother, outgoing and warm. And Mike Mageau, 19, her friend, full of life. Then Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, students enjoying a lakeside picnic. Young lovers on a calm September afternoon. Finally, Paul Stine, 29-year-old cab driver in San Francisco, educated, ambitious, driving the city streets by night. They were ordinary people, living ordinary lives until they crossed paths with an extraordinary horror. December 20th, 1968, Lake Herman Road, near Benicia. Faraday and Jensen park their Rambler. Witnesses later report a second car pulling in behind them. Shots ring out. David is shot in the head. Betty Lou tries to flee, struck 5 times. Their bodies lie near the car, discovered by a passerby. July 4th, 1969, Vallejo Blue Rock Springs Park. Darlene and Mike are in Darlene's car. A man approaches with a flashlight, shining it so his face can't be seen. Then he opens fire. Mike is hit, but survives. Darlene is killed. September 27th, 1969, Lake Berryessa, Napa County. Brian and Cecilia picnic in a clearing. A figure appears, wearing a sinister hood, his chest emblazoned with a crossed circle symbol. He claims to be an escaped convict, ties them up with plastic clothesline, then stabs them. Cecilia dies 2 days later. Brian survives. October 11th, 1969, San Francisco, Presidio Heights. Paul Stine picks up a passenger in his taxi. At the corner of Washington and Cherry, the man shoots him in the head. Then he calmly walks away into the night. Immediately, local police struggled. The first shooting on Lake Herman Road seemed random. There was no obvious motive, no clear suspect. After the Vallejo attack, despite a detailed description from Mike Mageau, investigators couldn't definitively identify the shooter. In San Francisco, witnesses' sketch descriptions failed to match, and a white man matching the profile was dismissed due to faulty communication over the radio. Detectives recovered shell casings from .22 caliber weapons at multiple scenes, linking some of the crimes. At Lake Berryessa, the killer carved his signature, the dates, the cross-circle symbol, into Brian's car door. Letters were sent to newspapers, taunting notes, ciphers, threats. One of the most chilling pieces, an envelope sent to the San Francisco Chronicle containing a piece of Paul Stine's blood-stained shirt. From the start, this killer courted the press. He demanded publication of his ciphers, threatening more violence if they were ignored. Newspapers did publish his letters, fueling public fear. He threatened to blow up a school bus. Amateur sleuths and zodiacologists sprang up, poring over every clue. The media amplified the mystery, turning the Zodiac into a mythic figure, part monster, part genius, part ghost. Arthur Leigh Allen, a Vallejo schoolteacher, was long suspected by many. He had a criminal history, and acquaintances claimed he matched physical descriptions. However, no definitive forensic proof tied him to the crimes, and DNA tests later seemed to clear him. Allen died in 1992 without being charged. Experts analyzed the Zodiac's letters and ciphers, searching for clues to his mind. Psychologists suggested he sought attention and control, enjoying terrorizing the public. Some theorized he had military training. Others believed he acted spontaneously, fueled by rage and opportunity. Despite decades of speculation, no theory has definitively explained his actions. The Zodiac Killer left an indelible mark on American culture. His letters influenced pop culture, from films to music, inspiring fear and fascination. He became an icon of unsolved crime, a symbol of the unknown lurking in everyday life. The case remains officially unsolved. DNA testing, cold case review, and investigative technology have reopened some leads. New suspects are occasionally proposed, but none have been definitively confirmed. Decades have passed, yet the Zodiac Killer's identity remains a mystery. He reminds us that terror can hide in plain sight in the everyday and in the darkest corners of human nature. And perhaps the greatest question remains: how well do we really know those around us?